breaking into a market is based around the energy you put into it and the intention behind it, as cheesy as that sounds.
No. Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Confio. I'm William Freitas, and today's topic is creating a products-based business. We're excited because we've got an amazing guest on the show. It's Rebecca Veksler from Seoul Cups. Welcome on the show.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
And we're super excited because we want to specifically talk about your experience over time.
Yeah.
But telling us more about how you can create a products-based business and giving some tips and tricks for the business owners out there and anyone wanting to start a business. So can you tell us firstly a little bit about Seoul Cups?
Yeah, of course. So Seoul Cups are 100% hand-blown reusable coffee cups, bottles, and eco-accessories essentially. And we created the brand or the company to be a platform for education. So really trying to connect to people on a holistic level, both on their health and the environment as well.
And tell us a little bit about, I guess, your background. What had you go into Seoul Cups and what had you create it?
So completely obscure story where I actually came from the fitness industry, and I was quite young when I started everything, and I was always business minded. I was always creating. I was never at school ever. It was basically from jumping from overworking in this sort of mental health space. I was running workshops and really incredible programs in the corporate space, managing a gym, having incredible clients, to actually getting really sick. And through my health and through that whole journey, I started Seoul as a passion project from bed. Literally something to sort of keep me going and keep me positive. So it was a complete accident.
Yeah.
It was never my intention, but it enabled me to create my dream business, which was to create a platform for education. And that's sort of, created this incredible journey.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit more about the passion behind that.
Yeah.
Because it's a products-based business. Everyone can find a product and try and sell it, but it's about finding a purpose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What would your passion and purpose be in that sense?
Definitely people. Understanding people, understanding human behavior, psychology. That's my true sort of, passion for the world. And this enabled me to be creative, to design, to construct, to create something from scratch. So it's not a product that you can go and source from China. We actually designed it and created every single element of it using hand-blown glass. And that was sort of the beginning. It was that excitement. It was that whole journey of creation, and that builds its own purpose and its own passion.
Yeah.
And then the hospitality industry and people and sales and business and development and all those things that I really love and understand.
It all intertwines quite well.
Exactly.
And something we're quite passionate about here at Confio is Confio, the word itself means trust in Portuguese.
Yeah.
And so I'm always intrigued when it comes to a business owner and an entrepreneur where they come up with a name particularly. And what does Seoul Cups mean to you? And tell us a little bit more about that.
So Seoul means sun in Spanish and a few other languages, and it's just a connection to the earth, to the planet. It's something that brings me joy, like sun, warmth, ocean, born in Bondi. So the whole logo design and concept is based around the sun setting in the sea, in the waves.
Works perfectly.
Which you can see on the logo itself later. We'll
play
with it later, and that's where the name comes from. It's just a holistic connection.
As you can see, we have already got our Confio Seoul Cups, so we're absolutely loving
Branded.
it. It's tea today, not coffee, so not coffee with Confio. And one of the things we did this time around, Rebecca, is we asked our audience and our followers if they had any questions, and it was overwhelming actually, the amount of people that came through and they wanted to ask you some questions, which is great. It also shows to me that there's a lot of interest in people wanting to find out more about, one, how to break into a products-based business, but how to succeed as an entrepreneur, right? And one of the key questions that it is tough. It's you and I were laughing about this earlier in the sense that a lot of entrepreneurs think that they get some time back, that's time freedom. It's not, right?
Only in isolation do you get time back.
True, yeah. And some of our business have been impacted by that too as well. But I wanted to go to the first question, which is actually from Gary. So shout out to Gary. Thanks for that question.
Thanks, Gary.
It's specifically about what came first. Was it the product or the purpose or your passion?
So, that's such a difficult question for me to answer because I think both were kind of already there. Like I as a person, I always have purpose. I already had my purpose, and that shows in the businesses that I was creating before, and also how I generally live my life. And my purpose is to inspire people, empower people, create change, create positive change. Like our mission for Seoul is to create a positive experience. That's
Great.
The company mission. And then obviously the product itself was kind of an accident. But I believe in quality, I believe in authenticity, and I believe in transparency in business. And for us, glass was the enabler. It was hand-blown glass. It was just this concept that we're like, wow, maybe we can do something here. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it sort of just intertwined. Like it all just kind of unknowingly made sense.
And what tips would you give to someone considering creating a products-based business? Because specifically around that question around purpose and product, I see so many people just wanting to set up a business but not having something. A product. I just want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to work for myself. What's some tips that you might give them?
So there's two sort of sides to it. There's the sort of personal side, which is why. Like literally, why do you want to do this? Like what on earth possesses you to want to create a business? What is your purpose in that sense? And really, you know how we talk about like a business health check? I think before you get into that world, you need to do a mental health check. And you need to really understand like what your skills are, what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are, what you're good at, what you're not good at, so that you can educate yourself, learn, and sort of begin that journey. Because when you're a business owner, especially in the beginning when it's just you, like you are in your head all day. You got to answer all the questions. You've got to hold all that responsibility. Definitely. So figure out why on earth you want to put yourself through it, like to the core. And then in terms of a product-based business itself, what problem are you solving? Like why? Like what item do you want to put into the planet, like into the world? What do you want to physically create? And is it of value to anyone? And what problem are you solving? So if it's just another piece of, you know, junk in the world that we really don't need, that has been created 50 million times with 50 different labels, why would you want to get involved in it?
What's the differentiator, right?
Exactly.
What's your key proposition?
Exactly.
I totally get that. And we've spoken about Simon Sinek's why before. It's the thing that's going to keep you going.
Exactly. You know, in 1 year's time when you've had like 3 mental breakdowns and, you know, you've probably got employees in a team, like you need to come back to that point of like, why am I selling what I'm selling?
Most definitely. And because when people set up a business, they generally come from a team to being a sole entrepreneur, of which, like you rightfully said, it's you and yourself. And your own thoughts, and there's no colleagues to, I guess, distract you in that sense and entertain you.
Well, you've got full accountability. There's no one to blame. Like
it has its pros and its cons, of course.
Exactly.
And you spoke about, you know, having a breakdown, for example, with a global team. That leads to probably the second question that we picked, which is Claudia. Thank you for that question, Claudia. It's more around how did you break into the global market with your product, and were there any resources or mentors that you could lean on?
Okay, this is it's a big topic. So obviously before you go global, my advice is always really penetrate the community you're in. Like really make sure that you've nailed the country that you're in first. So if you're in Australia and you want to be a product-based business, make sure you're successful in Australia first.
So true.
Don't just, you know, spread yourself too thin and run around and try and get everywhere, because you've got no credibility behind you. You've got no statistics, you've got no data, you've got no consumer knowledge of anything. So why on earth would you want to, like, you know, run around? Because it's so much work. and it's a lot of money.
And you spread yourself out thinner than ever before.
Because you physically need to be there. So obviously we, secured Australia. We did it phenomenally in less than a year, really. Then I moved into New Zealand because it's attainable, it's close, it's a 2-hour flight, and I was there all the time.
Sister to Australia, makes sense.
That's it. And then we hit the UK and the European market, and simultaneously did some of Asia. But through that experience and through a lot of time, a lot of travel, I'm always away, constant networking, constant community building, you can do it. It's achievable, 100%. Obviously marketing really helps.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're going to do it, make sure you do it in one place first, really, really well. Build that blueprint, like that real solid platform of this is how you do it, this is the strategy, and then you can replicate it and improve.
And tell me a little bit about mentors. You've obviously had some mentors in the past. You do a bit of mentoring and a bit of coaching as well, which is awesome. Who are some key mentors that stand out for you, and what would you recommend for people looking to set up?
Funnily enough, my personal mentors all came from the fitness industry.
Yeah, wow.
And I think that's really, really valuable to my success, because if you want to be a successful personal trainer or a gym owner or anything in the fitness industry, you have to understand people. All the fitness industry is essentially coaching and being almost like a therapist, really. So my deepest passion is psychology of human behavior and understanding human behavior. And my mentors come from backgrounds like NLP and exercise physiologists and yoga instructors and gym owners and all that kind of world. So these are people that taught me how to put your customer before you, to dedicate your journey to the benefit of your customer and their experience, and how client retention and customer retention is your most valuable asset.
It's super important. People do business with people.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And so if you master consumer behavior and master relationships with people and how to market to people, you're always going to be successful no matter what industry you're in. So
100%.
I think that's a fantastic tip.
Yeah.
Especially globally, not just within Australia, but any product that you come up with. The third question we had from the audience or followers, whatever you want to call it, was how do you make your brand stand out from the competition, especially when there are so many different options?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it depends what your product is. It depends at what stage you're entering into the market. Does it exist already, or are you going to create the market yourself? But essentially, you need to build a community online and offline. That's my number one biggest advice, is that yes, you might be a product-based business, but like you said before, it's people that, that's the selling point. It's the relationships you create and build around loyalty and trust and authenticity. So at the end of the day, I know that my personal customers, they want to do business with us because they have a relationship with me and my employees. Like they can pick up the phone and chat to them. They can send an email and get a really personalized response, not an automated thing. And, breaking into a market is based around the energy you put into it and the intention behind it, as cheesy as that sounds.
No, it's true.
For example, when I first started the company, it was me and a laptop, cafe hopping.
On Bondi Beach.
Literally on Wall Street. There was, it depends on the time of the day, was which cafe I was at. And my intention and my goal was, by the end of this year, there isn't going to be a single coffee shop or cafe owner or coffee roaster that won't know me on a first name basis and won't know what my product is and my purpose.
Awesome.
And let me tell you, that is exactly what happened.
Perfect.
But that's the physicality of online and offline community building. So find what your niche is, find your unique selling points, what differentiates you, learn to communicate it efficiently online and build a social community, and then do that offline on a very personal level.
I love that element because it's building the community, and back to your original purpose of being an education platform, right? Why you started, and it's the thing that continues to go. And we're happy to help you through the process of making sure every cafe knows what Soul Cups is. I think the brand speaks for itself already, which is fantastic. But one of the things we're doing is sharing our cups with all of our clients moving forward. So thank you for your time.
Thank
really,
you.
It's been fantastic talking
My
to you.
pleasure.
There are some nuggets of gold there about how to create a products business and what to consider, right? So we could talk forever, really.
Yeah, there's my brain's like ticking now.
Yeah, there's so many,
Yeah.
we start getting warmed up, and so many things come into it. But we will have to wrap it up. But before I let you go, it's our favourite part of the interview.
I was waiting for this.
The Confio confession. We all know what it is.
Yeah.
It's something that we don't know about you.
I am secretly obsessed with tennis, and if I could pick any other profession, I wish I could be playing professionally.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And had you played in the past? Or?
I might have been competing up until I was about 15.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's very cool. Little Serena Williams in the making.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That is Rebecca Veksler from Seoul Cups, and fantastic episode around how to create a products-based business. As always, feel free to keep sending through the questions. I'm more than happy to answer those questions along with Rebecca, because we're here to build a community. We're here to build, I guess, an education platform as well, much like what you're trying to do, to support business owners, to support people to take their business to the next level. So thanks for touching base. We will talk to you soon. Ciao.